Supersport Boxing. 1972. Boxing Fight of the Year. Bob Foster versus Chris Finnegan.
Southpaw style, he leads with his right. Look at this extraordinary height and reach of Foster. 6 feet 3.5 inches. He's about 3.5 inches taller than the challenger. Finnegan with Irish ancestry on his mother and father's side, wearing a shamrock on the right leg and the Union Jack on the left leg of his trunks. Foster said, while he was training, that the referee, Roland Dakin, wouldn't be needed to add up the card at the end. He'd win this inside the distance. And the odds against Finnegan really do say that too. And Finnegan clearly has got to do a bit of running here in the early rounds if he wants to survive to the later stages. And if he gets to those later stages, who's to say whether the strength in Foster's legs at the age of 33, whether that strength might begin to leak out of the legs. And if it did, then that might be Finnegan's chance. Foster specializes in the left hook and the straight right, and he's knocked men out with both punches. Foster's first really big left jab's getting through to the face of Finnegan. Finnegan, who is suspect around the right eye. He's had a lot of trouble in the past with cuts and swellings on the right eye. And that could well be where the greatest danger for him will lie in the early stages. You see the difficulty that Finnegan's going to have getting near enough to him to land a telling punch. This man seems to reach out for you, and when he gets you, there's an awful lot of power behind the punch. But it's a fairly quiet opening.
Supersport Boxing. 1972. Boxing Fight of the Year. Bob Foster versus Chris Finnegan.
Foster looking for him, and Finnegan will be trying to hide. We haven't seen a right at all yet from Foster. We saw one there, short one. And Finnegan scampered away from those ropes. Finnegan's a pretty shrewd sort of character. He's got a good boxing brain. But he's going to need it all tonight. When Foster explodes those punches, he really does look the part of a good world champion. Certainly the best there's been since Archie Moore. Foster working to cut him off and to cut him down as well. left hand to work in the face of Foster, and Foster ignores it. Finnegan tries to open this up. He could well find a lot of trouble. Finnegan chances his arm with the left.
Supersport Boxing. 1972. Boxing Fight of the Year. Bob Foster versus Chris Finnegan.
Finnegan working away from the left hand of Foster all the time. Finnegan gaining in confidence, using his legs well, using every inch of this 20-foot ring. Oh, there's the right hand, one jolting right hand. As Finnegan moved in, Foster had been waiting to put that one across. And there's the best reminder you could want of how dangerous this man is. Foster's corner now urging their man to come forward more. Finnegan took that right hand roll. Foster's got the right cocked low now, waiting to fire it again. And you get the impression that Foster hasn't yet really opened up. And he's waiting with that right, and there it is. Finnegan has got to work to stay to the later stages.
Supersport Boxing. 1972. Boxing Fight of the Year. Bob Foster versus Chris Finnegan.
So Finnegan already has felt the full power of those jolting left leads, and he's felt what looked like one of Foster's best rights as well. And he's taken them well. Plenty of grease on the left eye of Foster. This is a suspect eye of his. He's had trouble with it in the past. In Finnegan's case, it's the right eye that gives him trouble. There's the right hand, and Finnegan very nearly went there. If those ropes hadn't been there to hold him up, he might have been over. This man strikes with the speed of a cobra, built like a giraffe, with the speed of a cobra. One wonders how many of those right hands Finnegan can afford to take. There's a cut now appeared on Finnegan's face, and that's been put there by the right hand. It's down the left-hand side of his face, underneath the eye. This man Foster Foster used to work in a bomb factory, and he looks as though he's carried some of those bombs out of the factory and stored them away in his gloves. Finnegan not nearly so sprightly as he was, and then the legs not moving so fast as they were. Noticeably now, Finnegan more hesitant to come to his man.
Supersport Boxing 1972 Boxing Fight of the Year Bob Foster versus Chris Finnegan.
Foster's legs begin to tire. He is determined to go looking for Foster. Foster working there with the inside of the glove on the inside. Well, at least Foster knows now there's going to be no easy collapse by Finnegan. Finnegan boxing well. Pulling out the best from himself, as he often does on the big occasion. This is how he won his gold medal in Mexico. Boxed above himself there, and he's doing it again here. Foster's mouth coming open. Being made to work quite hard here by Finnegan. Foster's breathing hard. Finnegan's working well in this round. He's taking a lot of punches on the gloves, or else he's out of distance. And he's putting one or two of his own in, too. The best round so far Finnegan's had. Two good ones there from Finnegan. Foster's talking to Finnegan in the clinch. Oh! He nearly hit somebody 3 rows back.
Supersport Boxing 1972 Boxing Fight of the Year Bob Foster versus Chris Finnegan.
Successfully come through 5 and taken some of the champion's best shots, and making the champion move fast to get to him. Foster now working very, very hard indeed to land a big one on Finnegan, and finding now that a lot of his punches are being blocked or evaded. Foster pulling out a lot more in this round. Really trying to get on top again. Good right hand. Foster unmarked. Finnegan stealing some applause there with those light right hands. That's a good left hand from Finnegan. It's the best shot he's landed. And Foster took it well.
Supersport Boxing 1972 Boxing Fight of the Year. Bob Foster versus Chris Finnegan.
So the chase begins again. This lofty man from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Foster, comes stalking forward. Always hunting. Finnegan at times proving an elusive quarry, but every now and again soaking up one of these big right-hand bombs that Foster specializes in. But the interesting thing so far is that Finnegan has shown himself capable of taking Foster's best punches. And maybe they won't come quite as hard the further this fight goes. Finnegan bouncing around this ring as though the fight's just started. That's a good right from Foster. He walked onto that one, went inside, and he got caught. But Finnegan has got guts, and he still tries to come back. He's prepared to trade on with Foster. So Finnegan putting up the fight of his life against this great light heavyweight champion of the world. It's a great performance by Chris Finnegan. He's pulling the very best out of himself and forcing Foster to pull the best out of himself. Foster carries the big one. Finnegan doesn't. But the British champion is going to fight until he drops.
Supersport Boxing 1972 Boxing Fight of the Year. Bob Foster versus Chris Finnegan.
Is that Foster hasn't opened up the right eye of Finnegan, which has been opened up by lesser fighters than Foster. Finnegan has great reserves of stamina. He's a boy with a very slow pulse beat, and that always gives you stamina. Finnegan has got plenty of it. Foster's taken a backward step in this fight. Always hunting. Left and a right. Finnegan swayed away, but he was knocked away as well. Tremendous performances by Finnegan. Finnegan bleeding from the nose, but getting as good as he's getting. Foster's piling it on, but the harder he puts it in, so the harder Finnegan fights back, but Finnegan is taking a lot. Round 8, and it's not a good one for Finnegan, but he's game.
Super Sport Boxing 1972 Boxing Fight of the Year. Bob Foster versus Chris Finnegan.
In the last one. Good left hand that was. Stropped across the face of Foster. And another one. You really couldn't ask any more than this from Finnegan. He's produced as good as anything he's ever done, probably better. But is it going to be enough? Again, thudding its way through the defences of Finnegan. But there would have been a lot of challenges on the floor by this stage, and Finnegan hasn't been down yet. He really does keep coming back, Finnegan. He's giving this man plenty of trouble. And Foster is having to work every inch of the way.
Super Sport Boxing 1972 Boxing Fight of the Year. Bob Foster versus Chris Finnegan.
has been drawn from Finnegan. A lazy-looking right hand that was, and an almost lazy way that Finnegan went down. Now this is the first real crisis for Chris. And he tries to fight back, but now he surely must be going. Foster looks to his corner. There's no more moving from Finnegan now. He's just got to slug it out from where he is. And still he picks up points off the pace of Foster. The gameness of this British champion is really memorable. But it must be only gameness now. The red lights now really flashing for Finnegan. That right hand is getting through too often. Trapped on the ropes. And he looks like a man in a daze. And he comes looking for Foster at the end of the track. In the light heavyweight division.
Supersport Boxing. 1972. Boxing Fight of the Year. Bob Foster versus Chris Finnegan.
And the danger signals flash early on in the 11th for Finnegan. Foster now looking a little more jaunty, stepping a little more sprightly after that 10th round success. Look at the bounce in Foster now. There's blood on Finnegan's face. His left eye's gone, I think. And that's not the one he usually has trouble with. He's cut above the left eye, Finnegan. Foster now dances around in front of Finnegan like some black ghost, haunting him and taunting him as well. And the crowd don't like it because Foster's looking flashy now. Arms down. Almost as though he's saying to Finnegan, I've got you now, and there's nothing but nothing you can do about it. No doubt about it. The champion is teasing Finnegan now. And that's what the crowd think of it. There's a touch of the Muhammad Ali now in Foster. The taunting of the victim. And a big attack being set up in the closing seconds of the 11th by Foster.
Supersport Boxing. 1972. Boxing Fight of the Year. Bob Foster versus Chris Finnegan.
And of course what has to be remembered in all this is how well Foster can go this sort of distance at the age of 33. It's not been an easy fight for Foster. And here he is in the 12th, bouncing around. on those aging legs. Legs like matchsticks, but seem to be made of spring steel. And there isn't a lot of hope left in this now for Finnegan. That 10th round just about decided it. Notice how little of the ring Finnegan is using now, whereas before he was using it all. He's got a bruise coming up underneath the left eye, his nose is bleeding, the cut above his eye is bleeding. And Finnegan now is soaking it up, but still gamely coming forward. Foster content to bide his time, put the odd one in, try to keep his man on the end of the left, and wait for the chance to sling the right.
Supersport Boxing. 1972. Boxing Fight of the Year. Bob Foster vs. Chris Finnegan.
Every now and again, that sharp reminder from Foster of what a good champion he really can be when he wants to be. Well, you award the marks for courage to Chris Finnegan. Still not a bad fight being put up by Finnegan in the 13th, when it had all looked over by the 10th. What a hard round this is to have been produced at this stage of the fight. Finnegan is cut on the right eye now as well as the left. Two shattering punches there from Foster. And Chris takes them well. This man's strength is astounding. And through all this trouble and pain, he still tries to box his way back.
Supersport Boxing. 1972. Boxing Fight of the Year. Bob Foster vs. Chris Finnegan.
way behind. Foster's got just 2 rounds here. Foster's got 2 rounds to fulfill the boast that the referee wouldn't be needed to top up the points. And Finnegan very nearly put down there by another savage attack, and he goes, and this is probably the finish. I don't think even Chris Finnegan has got anything left now. He's counted out. Round 14, it had to be. He had nothing left to offer, but what a marvellous, marvellous challenge it was by Finnegan.
Gentlemen, please, in 55 seconds on the count out in the 14th round, Foster is the winner.
Super Sport Boxing. Subscribe, comment, like, and share.